way I've always liked it. Mano y mano. One on one. This is where the rubber meets the road, boy. Just the way I've always liked it. Mano y mano. One on one. That's where the rubber meets the road, boy. You like pineapples, kid?
Access granted. Access granted.
Pretty quiet, Boy Scout. You ain't scared, are you?
Access granted.
This is just the way I've always liked it. Mano y mano. One-on-one. This is where the rubber meets the road, boy.
Don't die on me yet. This Boy Scout's got a few questions to ask. Your leader, the one who called you Barrett. Who is he? Why is FEMA sending you after Seraph Industries?
FEMA? You think FEMA gives a rat's ass about some rinky-dink biotech corporation's company secrets? You got worse enemies than FEMA.
Yeah? Like who? Who?
Get to Shanghai. Hang shot, Court Gardens. Penthouse. Tell him... Tell him... Tell him Barrett sent you straight to hell!
Jensen, what's going on down there? Those soldiers just sixed out like you wouldn't believe.
They see you?
No, I was flying dark in case it got hot. You all right?
I'm fine. Patch me to Seraph.
I'm getting you out of here first. Get to the LZ. I'll pick you up there. You ready to get out of here, Jensen?
Yeah, take us back to Seraph Industries.
None too soon, if you ask me. Strap in and hold on.
I need to speak with you. Meet me in your office right away.
I'd love to, Francis, but I have to debrief Sarif first.
I suppose you could, or you could hear what I have to say and see if that doesn't change things. Pritchard out.
I can't believe it, Jensen. An internment camp smack dab in the middle of Detroit. Shit. You know, people have been talking about these kind of things ever since I was a kid. But to actually find evidence, to know the people running this country distrust us so much, makes you wonder if they really did close Guantanamo. You know, people have been talking about these kind of things ever since I was a kid. But to actually find evidence, to know the people running this country distrust us.
We need everyone on high alert. It's not only the pro-Augs who might want to get at Taggart, but the ones against them too.
You're saying that pro-human activists might see this visit as treachery?
I'm just saying anything is possible, so keep your eyes out for suspicious characters.
Right.
No one relaxes until Taggart and his entourage are out of the building.
With all due respect, Mr. Cannon, I can't believe we're letting that arrogant bastard Taggart sniff around our building.
Don't start getting all hyper on me now, Dobell.
His Humanity Front rehabilitation centers are not filled with recovering neuropozyne addicts. They're exactly what the name says they are, a front.
For what, Dobell?
Remember those allegations about the front sending money to organizations with known ties to terror cells? They're building training facilities for Purity First terrorists.
Taggart's aide Sandoval doesn't look like a terrorist to me, Dobell. The man is a doctor.
It's the perfect cover, if you ask me.
About Taggart that I found a little mesmerizing.
He's a bigot, Walt.
I know, but he did this thing. I asked him if this was his first time in Detroit, and he started telling me how he came here in '06 for the last game of the ALCS. You know, when Kenny Rogers was spraying champagne everywhere?
I hate baseball.
So while he's telling me this, Denny comes over and tries to ask him something, but Taggart just holds up a hand, turns to me, and says, "Excuse me, will you?" I thought it was a pretty polite gesture for somebody everyone keeps calling superior.
I'm sure Mussolini was polite too.
What do you want?
As much as I hate to admit it, I need your help. That signal you shut down in DRB territory. It's been active for almost a year.
You're telling me someone outside this company has had access to our network since before the first attack?
I've detected intrusions before and shut them down swiftly every time. But whoever designed this particular algorithm is good. Very good.
You've told Sarif?
See, here's the thing. The intrusions were possible because of a backdoor access into our security system that I never even knew existed.
The one Sanders' team used to get inside our plant.
I've worked here for 7 years, Jensen, and this is the first time I've seen that particular access route. David Sarif created it specifically to bypass the firewall. He's hiding something, and I think you should find out what it is.
Why me?
Because, as far as I can tell, Sarif created that access and was streaming a lot of data through it shortly after your ex-girlfriend suggested he hire you.
Excuse me.
Mr. Jensen, isn't it?
Sir, you have that charity dinner?
In a moment, Isaiah. I was hoping I might run into you, Mr. Jensen. Bill Taggart.
The founder of the Humanity Front. I know you are.
Yes. Yes, I imagine you do. As David Sarif's top security man, I imagine you have quite the file on me. But I assure you, Mr. Jensen, I am devastated by recent events.
Really?
I do not support what you and your company are doing to mankind. I believe it's extremely dangerous. But abolishing human enhancement technologies will only be achieved through legal means.
I'll keep that in mind.
This is your first day back since the accident 6 months ago, isn't it?
Sir, we have to go.
What happened to me was no accident.
Ah, my mistake. But it must have been stressful facing down a second incident so soon. I imagine it brought back all kinds of unpleasant memories.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Taggart, but it was nothing I couldn't handle.
I'm a psychologist, Mr. Jensen. I know when a man is hiding behind words. The flesh may heal, but the mind is not always so resilient. You might want to keep that in mind. Now, if you'll be so kind as to excuse me.
I'm curious about something, Mr. Taggart. What is it you hope to accomplish by coming here tonight?
I would think that would be obvious. Your company has been viciously targeted. The violence and bloodshed that's occurred, it must be stopped. But I'm afraid it won't be until men of wisdom and understanding come to an agreement.
About what?
About the future, Mr. Jensen. This enhancement technology threatens to change the course of human evolution, to redefine what it even means to be human. You think governments can afford to let that go unregulated?
You can't stop progress, Mr. Taggart.
Perhaps not. But neither can we afford to sit by and watch it happen on its own. Not when we have the ability, the collective will, and foresight to influence it.
I see. Thank you for illuminating me.
Anytime. I'm glad we had a chance to talk, Mr. Jensen. Meeting you has been very informative. You will think on what I said, won't you? You will think on what I said, won't you?
You're Taggart's aide, aren't you? Dr. Isaiah Sandoval, isn't it?
No need to play ignorant, Mr. Jensen. I am quite sure you have a file on me that's as thick as the one you have on Mr. Taggart.
You're an outspoken activist in your own right, Dr. Sandoval.
When you have seen the things that I have, you find you have no choice but to stand up and be counted. Frankly, I am surprised an ex-cop like yourself isn't more disturbed by the dangers of this technology.
Augmentations help a lot of people, Doc. Handicapped, war vets.
Yes, but at what cost? My own friend had his life ruined by these so-called enhancements of yours. A man much like you who had no choice but to become augmented. Yet once he was... Too much power can make you do terrible things, Mr. Jensen. I suggest you think long and hard on that.
I'd like to hear more about your friend, Dr. Sandoval. What exactly did he do?
Nothing.
Was he injured in the Gulf?
He went on a rampage in a shopping mall, if you must know. Hoping to be gunned down by the police, rather than face a lifetime battling augmentation addiction.
He was addicted to augments?
They don't talk about it in those corporate brochures of yours, do they? Neuroposine dependency, rejection psychosis, any number of physical and psychological ills have resulted from this technology, and yet we rarely hear a word about them.
I'm sure the literature is out there.
No thanks to the throng of corporate lawyers attempting to stop it.
Your friend, did he succeed? Did he suicide by cop?
No. Bill Taggart talked him down. I am sure you are very busy, Mr. Jensen, as are Mr. Taggart and I. I trust you will think on what I have said. I trust you will think on what I have said.
I'm glad we had a chance to talk, Mr. Jensen. Meeting you has been very informative.
Athena, you've been at this company a long time.
I hope that's not a comment about my age, Adam.
No. But I know nothing gets by you. if Sarif had done something that could compromise us.
Mr. Sarif has only the best interests of this company in mind, Adam.
I'm not questioning that.
Aren't you? I've been here since the beginning. I've seen how he built this up from nothing. He cares for his people. He truly believes what we're doing is important, and he would never do anything to jeopardize it.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, you shouldn't have. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy. You better get in there, Adam. David's been waiting.
Boss, we need to talk.
Is something wrong?
I'm not sure. Did you set up a private access route to bypass the company firewall right before you hired me?
What?
Pritchard said someone's been using it to access our system since before the first attack. The security measures he and I set in place never stopped them because we didn't even know the loophole existed.
Oh, I see. Frank's fixed that, though, right?
He has now, but he's wondering why you never mentioned it.
Frank's paranoid, Adam. You know that. Can a busy man forget things once in a while?
You streamed an awful lot of data through that portal, boss. Right before you brought me on board. Pritchard may be paranoid, but I gotta admit, I'm wondering what was in it too.
Yeah, as an ex-cop, I guess you would. But the important thing is you found the hole and plugged it. We're secure now. And the information you uncovered in that FEMA facility may actually help us track these guys. So let's just stay focused on what's important. Adam, are we done here?
I want to, believe me. I want to catch these guys as badly as you do. But that breach is responsible for every security crisis we've had, including today's. If you want me to stop these guys, I need to know what kind of data they've had access to.
You're right. I'm sorry if I seem evasive. The truth is, I've had a lot of other things on my mind. I'm trying to secure a future here for all of mankind. I can't let trivial security concerns get in the way when people like Bill Taggart want to see me fail. No, you're my best warrior, Adam, and I trust you. I know the loyalty you've shown me will only continue as we take this fight into the future. Because that's what's really important, isn't it? The future.
I think I proved myself today. And the only reason I'm worried about that loophole right now is because the data you streamed through it could have been accessed, backtraced, and stolen by the men who attacked us. Our enemies might still find a way to hurt us with it.
First of all, I wasn't questioning your integrity. And don't you think you're being just a little bit paranoid here? I'm sorry to have to break this to you, but frankly, there are a lot of things going on in this company that I can't share with you. Things that are above your pay grade. I like to think of us all as a team, but in the end, I decide who gets trusted with what. And this is just one of those times when you'll have to do your job regardless. Megan told me you could handle that when she asked me to hire you. Now prove it to me.
With all due respect, sir, I am trying to do my job. The job you hired me to do. The job you even brought me back in for tonight. But it feels like you're getting in the way. Especially when you start bringing Megan into this.
I wasn't trying to... Look, I don't want us getting upset over this. The data I streamed had nothing to do with Megan or her work. It was just a routine, fact-finding check that sprang from one of our discussions. The kind of check I have to run quite often around here, believe it or not. Now, if somebody backtraces the transmission and gets a look at it, I very much doubt they'll know what to do with it. Trust me, we're fine. Adam, are we done here?
I would like nothing better than to trust you with this, boss. But trust is a two-way street, and the way you've handled this entire conversation so far makes me think that it's you who isn't trusting me. Why, boss? What is it you're so afraid to tell me?
Adam, of course I trust you, son. And it's not that I'm afraid to tell you the truth. It's just that, honestly, I'm afraid you'll take it the wrong way. All right. Look, the truth is, I set up a confidential data channel for a private investigator, someone who can run covert background checks on people, potential new recruits, like you.
You what?
I had to, Adam. You were a liability, remember? You'd just been fired from SWAT. Now, Megan believed in you, but I had to be sure. Look, I don't want this to come between us. I'll send the files to your computer. You can see for yourself what he dug up. But Adam, you'd better be sure.
Why? What do you mean?
I mean, sometimes the past should stay in the past. Once you see that data, you can't unring the bell. When you're ready, come back and talk to me. We need to discuss our next move.